Oh,
Welcome
we're
to the
live.
Yacht Club podcast featuring co-star David and other co-star, I guess
Yeah, me,
co-host Will.
star, and then Dave helps, and then
Yeah,
so episode 3
in
of
a whole
the
season. Let's go, man.
um
Will, why don't you start off with our first segment of the day?
yeah. Well, I just overview. We're just going to talk a little bit about the playoffs in general, what we thought about it, a couple news stories of the day, and then we're going to get right into the mock draft for the 2022 upcoming draft, which is Wednesday.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yep.
So
I'll be watching 1 through 58. There's no 60th pick, is there? I don't remember.
yeah, I don't even.
I think 2 teams opted out of some pick. Anyway, I'll be watching every pick. It'll be great. For many different reasons, which we'll get into. So let's talk about the playoffs.
Yeah, let's talk. I'm just gonna dive in here. I thought the playoffs were great. There were not a lot of great games, but it was just, as NBA fans, it's just so good to see the playoffs back in full force. Fans in the fans and the arenas were popping. Ratings were higher than they've been in a long time, so just good for the league in general.
Right.
Warriors are back on top. I didn't think they could do it. I was super, super surprised by just how good Steph Curry was.
Right.
I can't believe, he just really proved me wrong. I thought he would struggle in that Celtics series, and he just fried him, just cooked him. That game 4 where he had, I think, 43 or 44 to tie it up. They would have gone down 3-1. I mean, that's probably one of his best games he's ever played. One of the most important.
Yep, I agree.
So this was just huge all time for Steph and those Warriors boys. I'm happy for, I like Draymond. A lot of people don't like Draymond.
I love Draymond.
He's sniping at people on Twitter and in the podcast he was doing. He was getting so much. He was playing bad.
Right, he was.
First half of that finals, he was playing very bad. That is not, that is just objectively speaking. But great defense. He turned it up in those final 2 games. So you gotta tip it. And then I feel happy for Clay, man.
Yep.
To go down with that ACL and then to come all the way back and then tear your Achilles and then have to come all the way back from that, and now he's a champion. I mean,
he ran when they won. Did you see him run over to the Warriors? What's it called? The guy that helps with all the health and all that stuff. He ran over and hugged him, and he's been getting him through the injuries. Yeah. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, great stories. And wow, the Warriors in a good spot. I mean, about that at a later spot, but
right.
Dude, the Heat, man.
Yeah, I know. Hey, man, I like the shot. If it went in, it would have been historic. Unfortunately, he missed it. But it's okay. We'll be back. We'll be right back where we were. I'm not worried about it. And we had a great season, great playoffs. Jimmy looks like a top 10 player again.
He's that dude.
I mean, I can't be more proud of the Heat. Obviously, I'd want them to win a championship, but they played their hearts out. I mean, some guys underperformed. We might have to get into that at another time, but I could ramble about that for a long time.
Yeah.
But I think with the offseason, I mean, Tyler's going to improve. He's only 22. Bam's going to improve. He's only 24.
Wow.
Hopefully we can pick up a 4 or a 2 guard that can come in and get some buckets, play some defense. And hopefully we see a jump from Tyler defensively and Bam offensively.
Those are the biggest things. And honestly, I think the Heat would have been a better matchup against the Warriors.
Yep.
For the fact that Bam is out there and can deal with that. I mean, nobody can deal with the Steph Curry pick and rolls.
Right.
Like that, but he would have been much better suited to handle that than Al Horford was. And
agreed.
I think it would have gone Game 7, and Warriors probably still would have won because the Heat just half-court offense stalls out a little bit. Sometimes, if
inconsistency too,
or something like that, or injuries,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, you just gotta tip it to the Warriors, man. Celtics, they're making progress. This is their first finals. You know, Tatum's, what is he, 24? I mean,
they'll be back.
They'll be back, but then, you know, Giannis is in that conference.
Right.
That Bucks team is fully healthy. It's going to be tough for them to get back.
Right.
You know? So I think that was a really big chance, but
what teams would you say out of the whole entire playoffs? Give me a team that underperformed and a team that overperformed.
I mean, underperformed, it's hard not to say the Nets. I mean, with all the hype, the Nets didn't get a game. They were the only team in the playoffs that got swept. Granted, it was a really good Celtics team, but look, I mean, the Nets should have got one. And control of 2, maybe 3 of those games. I mean, kind of leads going into the fourth, and obviously that game 1 where they just left Tatum open for that spinning layup. But yeah, I would say, you know, you just have to say that. And oh my gosh, another thing with the Warriors winning and KD getting swept out, this is the worst case for Kevin Durant and his just in a media shitstorm, right? I feel bad for the guy, to be honest.
I don't at all.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. Overperformed. It's hard not to say the Warriors, but the Grizzlies really impressed me. I thought, I mean, you know, John Morant going out in game 4 or something like that, and then they just didn't have enough. They had that one aberration game where they Warriors without him, but they really impressed me. I think they're going to be back. They're going to be good for a long time. They got a good collection of young players. Pelicans really impressed me.
I was going to say the Pelicans.
And to think, I saw this Instagram post today from Zion. He's looking jacked. He's bro. If he comes back and he is, you know, even in the season he played last, I think last year or the year before, whatever that was, he was averaging like 25 on like 57%. It
was like 27.
like just ridiculous stuff for first year, and to add that to a great collection of players that the Pelicans have got, and a good young coach and Willie Green too. So I think they have a bright ass future and a lot of grit in that Suns series. So
I was gonna say my team was the Pelicans overperformed, Suns underperformed, even though they played in the same series. The Sun, I mean, the Mavs overperformed too. I think that the Suns should have beat them, but I wanted the Mavs to win. I mean, Luka's he's gonna dominate every single time he steps on the playoffs floor. But I just thought it was impressive to see, like, the number 1 seed. They had the best league record in the league by probably over 8 games, and Luka just didn't care. Like, he just went out and hooped.
I mean, that game 7 was one of the most shocking games I've ever.
Yeah,
I don't know
terrible.
I don't know if I watched that one, but just looking back at the scoreboard and being like, and watching those highlights, I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, no, it was really bad. And I don't know. But good for Luka, man. I hope he's back.
Yeah, I mean, the young talent, young stars we got is just loving it.
Christian Wood on the Mavs now. They'll be really good.
Yeah, I think that's that. I mean, hey, they need a big. He can stretch the floor. We'll see how he does in kind of bigger game competition.
Right.
In the Houston basement for a while. So,
but
yeah. I mean, they did not give up like anything to get him, like Boban.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
it was like a 26th first round pick or something like that. Like
that kind of surprised me, but the Rockets are clearly going in a different direction with Paul.
They're going straight to the draft.
Yes, sir. To pair someone along Jalen Green, and hopefully he can develop into more of an efficient scorer. But we'll touch on all of that. That's anything else you want to say about the playoffs?
I think that's everything, man. Once again, congratulations to Steph Curry. His resume looks amazing. Yep. And yes, he's top 10 of all time. I just want to say that.
He's 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Do like a top 10 thing.
We'll do a top 10 next episode. I like it. Moving on to the NBA lottery that is going to be in 2 days.
Wait, before we get into that, I want to talk about Russell Westbrook and Kyrie. That's
Go ahead.
okay. Because there's been, because now there's talks. Kyrie, they're at a weird in the contracts, which just it might be Kyrie kind of leveraging to get a longer, like a 4+1 max deal rather than what the Nets probably want to give him, which is like 2 years on a max, just because Kyrie's availability and he's getting older and all that. But it's just a very interesting situation tied in. And then with Russell Westbrook, there's been a lot of reports today about the Hornets being really interested in trading for him. And at first I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why would, Michael Jordan, the worst GM of all time, why would he do this and continue to destroy his franchise? But the reason he wants to get Russell is he wants to trade away, and this could be like a 3-team package. So just keep that in mind. But Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward both have big fat contracts, and they expire in 2 years rather than Russell just plays out the 1 year. And they have LaMelo and Miles Bridges to sign next year. And they're both, LaMelo's going to want max. Miles Bridges is going to want close to max, and the way he's trending up, he might play really well this year and improve it.
Right.
So to clear up money for that, they would have to trade that Hayward and Rozier contracts to a different team, just take on Russ's contract, just be like, whatever. But then, he's free to go and you don't have that, then you have a bunch of cap space to re-sign Miles and LaMelo, which is obviously the young core they're going for. So in that sense, it makes sense. It kind of chalks up this year because it's like, what do you do with Russ?
But it's fun. Russ and LaMelo, that fast break, come on.
It'll sell tickets.
I like it.
So that part of it made way more sense to me. I was like,
yeah. Now that you explained, I didn't even read any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But when you explain it and talk about it like that, I could see it.
Because then, I'm looking on Twitter and they're like, why the hell would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see actually one more thing about Russ? The Lakers, I saw that offered Russ THT and a first round pick from 2026, I think, to the Pacers for Malcolm Brogdon, and they declined.
Wow. I didn't see
Or was
that.
it this year's pick? I'm not sure. But first round pick for the Pacers is what they want. Just take on Russ, sell some tickets, and right.
And then go with your young core. And they got, they have a good amount of picks this year too, right?
Oh yeah. Then we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So you ready to do the mock?
Yeah. Let me preface this by saying I don't know. I don't watch college basketball pretty much all that much. I have been, reading up, kind of listening to some podcasts about the prospects coming in. But David, sounds like you've been doing some research of your own, huh?
Yeah, Jaden Ivey's my favorite NBA player of all time. So I've been very interested in the college season. Also, we went to Purdue. I'm sure everyone knows this by now. So yeah, I've been looking at the competition, kind of see what the best fits are everywhere. And so, yeah, I feel like I have a pretty good understanding about this draft.
I like that.
So, and before we start, I'm going to watch every pick because first of all, I need to see where Ivy goes. Miami Heat have the 27th pick, which I've heard that they're going to trade away. So we'll see that. And we need to see if Travion gets a draft, That would be cool. All right. So you want to start or do you want me to start? We're just going to go back and forth.
You start.
Okay. So with the first pick of the 2022 NBA draft, the Orlando Magic select. Oh, wait, it says it right there. I am going to be basic. I'm going to go with Chet.
Chet.
I think Chet has probably the most upside in the draft. It's a Magic pick. If he sucks, he sucks. I mean,
Yeah.
Magic have messed up the draft for how many years in a row now.
Mhm.
I think Jabari's the safer pick first. Probably a better fit. Chet is just he has the most upside. If Chet becomes who Chet's ceiling is, he'll be the best player in the draft, I think.
I mean,
So,
just the size, the wingspan. I was watching he's a legit shot blocker. Like
he averages 3.7 blocks a game.
yeah, no, like he's legit 40%er from three. Not a lot, but obviously
Yeah.
has that perimeter game.
And if he beefs up a little bit, he'll be, I think his ceiling is, I don't know, a top 2 center in the league
Interesting. Yeah.
in his prime.
Yeah.
So
I think, I think he's great. Obviously, the skinny frame and it's going to be a nightmare when he goes against Embiid or Jokic in those early years. But look, I mean, those are the two main like post guys. Like outside of those, you're just going to be guarding like.
Draymond.
It'll be really important how he handles pick and roll and things like that at the highest level. But he's probably just going to be like guarding people on the perimeter, like
right,
post people up unless you're those two stud centers. So
yeah. Okay, well, who do you have to the Thunder? Second pick.
All right. Wait, also for Chet, did you know him and Jalen Suggs used to play like
high school?
Yeah, they played high school together for like years. So
and they both went to Gonzaga, but they were not on the same team. So hey, you got the chemistry. That's gonna happen.
It kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Most people would. I've seen a bunch of mocks. Most people have Jabari going 1. And interestingly enough, I saw something today that in the past 24 hours, apparently Paolo's
climbing.
Paolo's odds to go 1 went from like plus 2,400 to like plus 250 or something ridiculous.
Wow. There's been buzz for Paolo, bro.
Yep. So it could go, those 3 could easily all be 1. I think it's Chet. We'll see what happens.
All right.
So to the Thunder, who you got?
To the Thunder. Okay. If Chet doesn't go first, the Thunder are, I think they're definitely going to take Chet Holmgren because I think that just kind of fits the Thunder squad. But with the second pick, the Oklahoma City Thunder will be taking Jabari Smith.
Yeah, these are, I mean,
just a plug and play, 6'10", sharpshooter, great defense, hard worker. I mean, to me, he has like his floor is a good role player.
Wow.
To me.
I think his floor is like Chris Bosh.
Oh, wait, that's really good.
Yeah. And I didn't like hear this anywhere. I just think that's like his potential is he'll be a great defender, great, like play with an all-star like LeBron.
Oh, so that's like his ceiling. Like that's what he could
get. I
said floor. Yeah, I said floor. Like the worst he could possibly
yeah. You're right. His floor. Yeah,
great defense, great 3, great size, wing player. That's a commodity in the NBA alone. So I was just saying like a good role player is probably how he slots in right away.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, his floor is Chris Bosh. He will be Chris Bosh or better, is what I'm saying. I think he'll be a little bit like, yes, I understand you're saying he'll be floor as a role player, and I think he'll just be a lot better than that.
Yeah.
Multiple all-stars. I mean, everyone in the NBA wants a 6'10" guy who can defend and shoot.
Right. I mean, that's the way the league's going, and that's the hottest commodity in the league. So and just for the Thunder, I mean, they already have some creators, they have Giddey, obviously Shai Gilgeous. So just a big defending wing who can shoot the ball, that'll be great for them. Really, you can plug this guy into any team, I think, and have some success. So
right. All right. I'm telling you, I think the top five is kind of locked in. Ivy will be an interesting conversation. I'm going Paolo for the Rockets. I mean, they got their guards for the future. They need a big man. They just traded away Christian Wood. Paolo could be the kind of guy who takes off some of the shots from Jalen Green. He's not the greatest defender, but I think his shot will develop as he stays in the league. He shows me a lot of like Jason Tatum, and I think he could be someone like that who could still take the ball up, take his own shots, and get to his spots. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with Paolo on the Rockets, and that's gonna be a crazy good young core, I think.
Yeah. And we were talking this beforehand, but that's pretty much the top three. I haven't
Yeah.
seen mock drafts or conversations about guys in busting into that top three, unless someone really loves Ivy. I think besides him, because he's the one probably with the most star potential left.
Yep.
On the board, but yeah, Paulo again, 6'10".
Right. Another one.
Like, that's always just going to be great, but he seems like one of the best shot creators. Just kind of get you a bucket off the dribble, pull up, fade away, like what you're talking about with Tatum. I think I like that comp a lot.
Right.
What he can get to. Yeah, and he's not even 20. I'm looking at this now. So yeah, lots of life
young
there.
Guy. Yep.
And yeah, will fit great into that Rockets core that they're building there. So
oh yeah, I love it. Fourth pick.
And so
I'm interested to hear what you have to say about this. And then
this is the Kings, right?
Yes.
And okay, wait. So who's fifth and sixth?
Pistons and Pacers.
Pacers. Okay. So Sacramento is in such a weird spot here. They've kind of transitioned into more of a win position more than a rebuild with the Sabonis trade. They want to make the playoffs. They want to get things going. They have their backcourt. They cleared out Halliburton. And they have their Davion Mitchell and De'Aaron Fox backcourt. So adding another guy like Ivy, I don't know if it's the best fit. Now, look, Ivy has that star potential. He's one of the most athletic players in this draft, probably the most athletic, and just has a crazy high ceiling. But I think the Sacramento, I think there's so much buzz for Ivy that someone will want to trade up. And I think that is the Indiana Pacers. I think they'll jump 2 spots to grab Ivy. They'll swap picks with Sacramento and just add in something else. I don't know what needs to happen, but I think it's just a great story. You went to Purdue, obviously in Indiana. I've heard the Pacers really like him. So I think that'll be the first trade of the draft, and I think that'll be what happens.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this for you.
Okay.
I don't exactly know how this would work, but let's just trade the pick to the Pacers. We'll do a pick swap. And let's just say,
yeah,
for now, give him Brogdon. They're trying to get rid of him.
Yeah, maybe. I think they're trying to get rid of Miles Turner too. Some of those.
Let's do that. Let's get Jaden Ivey on the Pacers with a pick swap. I can't even see it. Why does the meeting say it's ending in 8 minutes?
That's not good.
We'll have to do a part 2.
Yeah, we'll have to do part 2.
What do I think? I think everything is going to change at the 4th pick. I've seen Instagram talking about the draft starts at the 4th pick for most NBA teams. Everyone's interested in Ivy, and the Kings. Everyone knows it's not a good fit for the Kings. So, I've heard Grizzlies, John Ivy. New York is one that really interests me. they've been looking for a point guard for their entire franchise. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, Pacers, Pistons, everyone is trading up. I want, I love the Knicks giving up. I've seen the Cam Reddish pick swap and Emmanuel quickly. It's a lot, but I like that. I
Yeah.
like the Pacers with Brogdon. I like Detroit with Jeremy Grant. So a lot of talk during that. But the Kings is not his team. I don't see him going to the Kings. I mean,
I hope he
it's
doesn't.
not a good fit. And as an Ivy fan, I don't want that.
Yeah. And like
um,
it's just a crowded backcourt, and
right.
they already made moves to kind of set those guys up. So it would just be kind of a weird pick for them there.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll have to see what happens with Jaden Ivey. I hope his career does not die in Sacramento.
Yes.
And if he does end up going there, I hope he balls out. They make some off-season moves. Get a team around him. Don't do the Sabonis post hook. We don't want that.
Yeah.
We want him playing in Madison Square Garden where he's throwing down lobs and shit.
Yes.
Like we want him
Nah,
to be
that'd be-
exciting. He's
that'd
gonna
be
bring tickets. It's gonna be I think he'll have a great NBA career, and I think he is the favorite for Rookie of the Year.
Uh-huh.
All right. Fifth pick, Detroit Pistons. Let's switch things up here.
Wait.
I'm gonna go with the Pistons on taking the chance on Shaden Sharp.
Okay. Now talk to me.
Shaden Sharp, Kentucky commit. Hasn't played a single game in college.
Oh.
6'6", athletic as can be, great shooter. Eligible for the draft this year compared to Kobe Bryant. Just turned 19. He's a great, great player. He's fresh out of high school. I don't exactly know why he's eligible for the draft, but he is the mystery of the draft, is what everyone calls it. He has crazy upside, but probably will take a year to get ready to be in a rotate. I mean, not a rotation. He'll be playing, but to be adjusted to the NBA, the pace of the game, and all that stuff. So I think he plays kind of the 2-3. Him and Cade Cunningham would be excellent.
Yeah.
So I like that pick for the Pistons a lot because they really don't have much guard play other than Cade. And if they're really looking to not have a future with Jeremy Grant, then he can kind of slide to the 3. So I really like that. He has a great frame, great body, great shot, great athleticism. So I like that pick for the Pistons.
Was it an injury that kept him out that first?
I don't think so. I am not exactly sure what the eligibility was for, but
Oh, okay. I'm
I don't
reading.
know.
Sharp didn't play basketball.
Maybe it was. I'm not sure.
Electing to sit out the year to better prepare for next season.
Mhm.
Then just went to the NBA. All right.
Yeah. So
Not a bad deal.
right. And Kentucky's National Player of the Year is coming back. So if he played with him, it would have been probably insane. But I get it. Go get your bag. Go to the NBA. Do it.
Yeah.
So I like that pick for the Pistons. So now we have the pick swap for the Kings at 6. And I've heard that what the Kings actually want is they want to lower their pick, get a veteran guy, a good rookie, and for some reason try to compete. They're in win now mode.
Yeah,
So,
dude, they just got. I mean, these poor Kings fans. They just need to make the playoffs, man. Make the play. Dude, just be semi.
yeah, right.
They've been horrible ever since I've started watching it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bad franchise.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. You know, I didn't like the Sabonis thing, but you know, it is what it is.
Right. So I don't know if you have any preference here for the Kings or not.
I am seeing a lot of Keegan Murray. There's a lot of kind of 6'8", 6'7" guards here that they could go with that could fill that kind of their small forward, power forward, wing role.
Right.
With Keegan Murray, I don't know too much about him. I'm looking here. Looks like a pretty good shooter.
Great player.
23.3 points per game. I mean, Iowa, Oh, he's Iowa.
I would say he's probably the best fit right here.
Yeah,
He dominated us in the Big Ten tournament. Um,
Giddy.
he looked like an absolute. He looked like an NBA player. I mean, he's a great defender, great shooter at 6'8". He's kind of got it all. He's a very polished player. He's an NBA ready player. So, and he's a sophomore. So we'll do
Yeah,
that one.
yeah. It'll say he'll be 22 when, which again, more experience kind of fits with what the Kings want. Just an instant contributor. So,
Yeah,
I think that
right.
works out.
Right. Exactly. The Blazers. See, this one's. I think best fit available. I'm gonna go AJ Griffin here. Only averaged about 10 points in college, but he has crazy upside. He's been compared to great forwards in this league. He shoots above 40% from three. I mean, they need a wing. So I really like him going in there, playing defense, shooting the ball well. And he could pretty much do it all. So
Super young. I mean, he's not even 19.
yeah. And he was injured for like half the year. So we haven't really seen him play the way that he can.
Oh, and he missed most of 2 years with knee and ankle injuries in high school too. So
Right.
But obviously the upside is there. Duke, great size, great wingspan, shooting ability. So
I think the Pelicans are interesting because I don't really know what the Pelicans need or want. I mean, they have a decent to great player at every position, I would say. It's just a weird fit.
They got a bunch of dudes, man.
Yeah. And I don't really know. I mean,
would they want to trade down out of this pick for?
See, that's a possibility. I mean, I think they need a point guard, man. They don't